welcome back to the channel. Today is July 22nd. It's a Monday. You guys got a case of the Mondays? Case of the Mondays.
I think I'm gonna lose it.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
I had a little bit of that this morning, but I'm going to get over it and get back to work. I'm going to give you guys an update on how my YouTube is doing. We had quite a few new subscribers, so I'm going to introduce myself to you guys first. My name's Brian Kingsbury. I'm a full-time reseller. I've got 2 eBay stores, over 6,000 items listed, and this channel kind of details the ins and outs of the business. We show you what's sold, we show you what we're listing, and of course we show you what we're buying and trying to flip for big money. So this day in the life of a reseller vlog comes out every morning. It's not only about reselling though. I tell you a little bit about my life, and I'm giving you an update on my YouTube channel as well. We're trying to get the channel monetized, trying to get to that 1,000 subs in 4,000 hours, and we've made some major breakthroughs as of recently. Let me show you the analytics to show you what we're working on. Here's the latest analytics chart for the last 28 days. The channel has, what does it say, 26,325 views in the last 28 days. And it looks like watch time is up to 297.2 hours of watch time. And we were up subscribers. I think we were up 10 subscribers overnight, and we're up 3 more this morning, up to 438. And as you can see, I've been adding these shorts, 12,313 views in the last 48 hours. And there's the uptick ever since I started using Opus Clip to post some of these shorts. So as you see, those Opus Clip shorts in the shorts section is really boosting views on YouTube. And we're going to continue with that. I've been posting some every morning and continuing that climb in views and hoping that that 1,000 subs will be here before we know it. I've also been posting a few more long form videos as well. I started an educational component. Yesterday we did 5 smalls you can add to your store. So 5 small items that don't take up a lot of space, and you can add that to your store. I've got a little small section as part of my 6,000 items, and I've been growing that over the last couple of years. Let me give you a look at it. Here it is, just takes up the corner of my office here. I got a couple of shelves and a couple totes down here and a couple in the photo station, so it doesn't take up a lot of space, and we get steady sales out of this small section. If you're interested in checking out that video, that's up on my channel. Published that yesterday. 5 smalls that are perfect for eBay is the title, I think. Let me give you a look at the thumbnail so you can find it. Here's what the thumbnail will look like. It's just me holding up these small envelopes. 5 small items perfect for eBay. There I am. So I think today I want to do a follow-up to that video, get into a little bit more detail about those 5 items, and maybe check out a few of the solds and give you guys an example of 1 or 2 that are selling for big money, so we can keep an eye out for some of those. I also did another Brian Reads the News segment last night. It was kind of a fun article. I'll give you a look at it in a second here, but we're going to continue that in a part of a series. It was 10 fairy tales that are darker than you realize as a kid, and we did the first 2 yesterday in the initial video, and we're going to continue with that until I get through that article. Let me give you a look at the article. Here's the article we're reading, 10 fairy tales that were way darker than you realized as a kid. It's on howstuffworks.com. people.howstuffworks.com is where I found it. Here's a look at the contents. As you can see, there's 10 here listed. Yesterday we went through Pinocchio and the Little Mermaid, but we also have Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, Rumpelstiltskin, the Snow Queen, Rapunzel, and Sleeping Beauty. So we're going to read the rest of those as well. So today I'm going to do part 2 in that series, which would be Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood. Discuss those. It's kind of interesting to hear about how the stories have been adapted over the years, how they've been changed to make them a little more PC. You know, they started out pretty rough, pretty dangerous, and now they're more Disney friendly. And of course, eBay-wise, we're going to continue on with this loss leader pricing strategy, listing auctions for just $197 to kind of draw people into my store. It's been working, so we're going to continue with it. And I've got a plan for the rest of the month. I'm going to share that with you a bit later, so stay tuned. Yeah, I got a plan. I've been thinking this morning. Today's the 22nd. We got 31 days in July, so we got a few days left in this month to make the most of it. And I got a plan for the rest of the month to really tackle the last of the month and get those profits going. and then we'll take a reassessment of things and see what we plan to do for August. But we got to make the most of this last week and really set some sort of plan forward that will put us in the right direction. But before we get to all that, we got to pack up the orders that came in overnight, right? You can't forget about that. YouTube has kept us busy, but we got to keep this eBay beast going. Got to keep the stores churning out profits, and we did have a few sales overnight out of the big store. We're going to check out the little store a little bit later as well. We neglected to log into yesterday, so we might have a few sales waiting for us there as well. But let's go ahead and pack up today's orders out of the big store and see what sold. Alright, looks like we had a pretty good day of sales overnight. We had 8 sales. What does it say? 8 sales for $162.45. Let me give you a look at what sold. There you see it, 8 sales. We woke up to 8 sales for $162.45. Here's a look at the first item that sold for $17.34. It's a lot of 3 uniform button Civil War Antique Grand Army Republic vintage buttons. Let me give you a look at this in more detail. They had 4. There was originally 4. I sold one, and they wanted this one right here that had the writing on the back. Unfortunately, and it is still available. I think this shiny one sold, and the other 3 are still part of this lot. Yeah, I was selling those individually at one point, and I decided to go ahead and just lot them up once the first one sold, and someone finally took advantage of getting the remaining 3 for what was it, $17.34. So we're gonna get that out to them. And luckily it had that button, the one that they wanted, so they will get the one they wanted, as well as 2 bonus buttons. So that's just another example of a small item that you can find that can you put in your smalls section. I didn't mention buttons, but a lot of times, you know, people take buttons off of clothing. You know, if it's if you have a shirt that's missing a bunch of buttons, you take the remaining buttons off, you lot those up in a big lot. Or if you have a special one like these military buttons that people look for, some of these older military buttons are worth quite a bit of money. That one with the writing on it is probably worth way more than I just charged them, but luckily they got a deal on it, and they can add it to their uniform or do whatever they plan with it. Yeah, a lot of times with buttons, you know, you'll see the reproductions, the big shiny buttons. They don't want those. They want the rusty old ones that are true vintage, and that's what that one was. It had the maker's mark on the back with the area that was made in, and that's specifically what they asked about. They messaged me like 3 times about it, and finally I opened it up and responded, and luckily we did have that button, and they will get the one they want. Next item sold for $18.15. It's a brand new 2XL Asics Motion Dry black t-shirt top, short sleeve, men's polyester. We listed this one July 16th. It didn't take long to sell at all, brand new with tags. That's usually why it moves quick. Next item to sell sold for $17.56. It's a Banana Republic purple polo shirt, short sleeve, size large, cotton. Next item sold for $14.97. It's a Greg Norman tassel Elba beige dress shorts, men's size, extra large, 42-inch waist by 10.5-inch inseam. Next item that sold for $16.53. It's a True Nation blue and white cotton flat front dress shorts, size extra large, 42-inch waist by 11-inch inseam. So it looks like those 2 pair of shorts are $30 in sales plus a few bucks, and same buyer, so we're gonna have to pack those together. We'll save on some shipping costs, and luckily, you know, they're buying in bulk, 2 pair of shorts, and we'll benefit from that added savings by packing them up together in one envelope. Yeah, I'm always surprised that there's not more buyers that buy multiple items. Maybe my store's not set up for that, or they just don't realize all the deals that we have, but you know, you can buy multiple items, and we'll just put them together and pack them up in one package, send it all out to you. So they took advantage of that. 2 pair of shorts, 30 bucks, not a bad deal at all. Next item that sold for $45.17. I think that was the best sale of the day. It's a Guess purse handbag, brown and red, 7-inch handle, women's large tote, 18 by 10 inches. So a lot of times I get purses in storage units that you buy, and I think that's where I got this purse, and sometimes they're a little bit too rough to list online. You know, they're worn or they're dirty, and we just donate them, you know, or throw them away. And this one was a little bit nicer and better condition, so we decided to list it up. Plus it was a brand name Guess purse, which there's still a demand for Guess. And obviously, as you can see, we got a decent amount of money for it, $45. Sold out the door. Purse sales out of Men's Choice, a clothing store for men. but we're selling women's items, so we're selling purses, we're selling anything out there.
Next item sold for $21.31. It's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning DVD movie, keyword film, horror slasher with box. So a decent amount of money for a movie. Let's see, obviously a classic. We had it, the unrated version, the beginning they call this. Took a lot of great photos of this, and it has the art and the box and everything with it.
So that's just yet another example of, you can list into that smalls section, one of the smalls items, DVDs. That's not even a Blu-ray. I focus on Blu-rays, but that's a regular DVD, a classic. And we found that one probably in a storage unit and got it listed $21 for it, but just a DVD. So you can still sell a media for a profit, and obviously we made quite a bit of money on that one, since you know, you pick it up for $2 to $3 at a thrift, or even cheaper if you're getting it out of a storage unit, and you're making that amount of money on it. That's, you know, take off shipping of $3 or $4 for that. And that's what, $17 in profit right there on one DVD.
Eighth item sold for $11.42. It's a medium Old Navy crew neck sweater top women's patriotic flag, red, white, and blue.
So obviously there's a lot going on in the world today. Not sure if you guys have turned on the news lately, but you know, patriotic stuff is on the rise. People, you know, kind of your sales kind of mirror what's happening in the world sometimes, and that's certainly the case. People are feeling very patriotic right now, and they want their clothing to represent that. So we got a little red, white, and blue selling. Usually these sell, you know, before Independence Day or some sort of picnic you got to go to. But this one is selling off season, in the middle of summer. So I'm gonna go grab those 8 items. We'll print some shipping labels and add those to the tote.
Alright, through the magic of video there they appear, 8 orders ready for shipping labels. Let's get them printed. Alright, there you see it, 8 orders, 8 items rather, 7 orders, $162 in sales, and here come the shipping labels for them. Let's get them hot off the printer. Let's get these printed so we can get these out in the mail today. Alright, we got a few orders in the tote already from yesterday, but we got 7 more to add. Let's go ahead and do that now. 7 orders out of the big store. Let's count them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and number 7.
So one thing they mention in YouTube is to know your demographic, know who you're talking to, right? I know who I'm talking to. I know it's mostly men, it's mostly guys over 40 like me. And what do guys over 40 know about? They know about the 80s. And what do they know about the 80s? I love it when a plan comes together. You guys know about that? You remember that? The A-Team in the 80s. Today we're going to talk about a plan. We're going to get a plan together for the rest of this month, and I'm going to share that with you a little bit later. But first we got to get in that small store. We got to pack up those orders, and we got to get those ready to go to the post office as well. Let's log into the small store and see what kind of action we had overnight.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together. I love it when a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Colonel, love it when plan come together.
You bet he does.
Alright, we just logged into that small store. It looks like we had 5 orders and 2 offers. I went ahead and accepted those 2 offers, so we'll wait on those to pay. But before we get to that, we're going to pack up these 5 orders that have already been paid for. Let's take a look and see what they were.
You see it, 5 orders for $67.23 out of the small store. Let's see what they were. Sold for $11.22. It's an extra large St. John's Bay black and white polyester women's athletic pants, 32-inch waist by 29-inch inseam. Next item sold for $15.99. It's a 17.5 34-35 Van Heusen red long sleeve cotton polyester blend men's pocket dress shirt. Next item sold for $15. It's a Gap Khakis beige cotton spandex blend flat front dress pants, 35-inch waist by 32-inch inseam. Next item sold for $11.11. It's an Under Armour medium gray long sleeve full zip cold gear hooded sweatshirt. It had a tiny hole in the sleeve, so that's why it sold so cheap. $11.11 out the door. Next item sold for $13.91. It's a large Karen Hart green cotton women's long sleeve mock turtleneck t-shirt. Alright, we had one more order be paid for. That brings it up to 6 orders for $75.85. Let's see what that other item was. Accepted the best offer on this. It sold for $8.62. It's a size small, 32 degrees cool, black polyester spandex short sleeve V-neck t-shirt.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab those 6 orders out of the small store. We'll print some labels, add them to the tote, and get them ready for the post office.
Alright, that 7th order was just paid for, bringing the total to $89.23 for 7 orders. Let's take a look. For $13.38, I sold the Sportscam waterproof full high definition 1080p camera. There they are, 7 small store orders ready for labels, and here come those labels hot off the printer. We're gonna get 7 more labels printed, add these to the tote, and take them to the post office this afternoon. Let's get it done. There you see it, my friends. The weekend has been very, very good to me. Very, very good. Let's add these to the tote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There you see it, a weekend full of very, very good orders. We got, I think, a whole tote full we got to take to the post office this afternoon. It's about lunchtime now, so I think I'm going to take a little bit of break for lunch, make a little bit of lunch, and then we'll get back into it. I do have to do some listing today. I've been packing orders all morning, so I haven't had much time to do listing. I've got a few polos set down here that I have photographed already. I'll get those listed after lunch, and then we'll get in that photo station and find some more inventory to photograph and list. Of course, like I said earlier, I want to do a few YouTube updates. I want to do an update to that small section, a little follow-up video to that. Keep that educational component going into the store, as well as that fairy tale story. We might leave that fairy tale story to do this afternoon, but first order of business is to get those some sandwiches made so I can eat those sandwiches and get some fuel and fuel the fire to get this next step of the day done. Have yet to eat today, so we're gonna get some lunch and then we're gonna continue the work.
Alright, there it is. Lunch is served. We got some ham and cheese on those ciabatta buns from Costco, some chips, and an apple. That lady upstairs, she took most of my apple, aka known as the wife, but we got a little bit left. She'll let me nibble on the core. And we got some water.
Alright, I got those last 2 polo shirts listed into the small store. Just log back into the big store, which means we gotta find some fresh inventory to photograph and list this afternoon. Let's go ahead and head into that photo station, see what we got in there, see what we can find to photograph and list this afternoon.
Alright, as you can see, we're still inventory rich. We got 2 stacks here ready to draw from and find some inventory to photograph and list.
So I just pulled 10 women's t-shirts. I think that's what we're gonna focus on. We're gonna continue with the auction experiment. I've been running that in my big store, offering some select inventory at $197 with a buy it now option, starting things out at $197, just using that loss leader pricing strategy in order to get people into my store. Seems to be working. Impressions are up, sales are up, so we're going to continue with it this week. Let's take a look at some of these t-shirts that we have in inventory here.
Here's a look at the first one. It's a Kirkland Signature Extra Large gray V-neck t-shirt. It's gray with a pink highlights kind of on the stitching. Here's a nice one, size medium, a Seattle Seahawks Nike Dry Fit. This is a size medium Nike Dry Fit Seahawks tee. We got some more Nike here. This is Nike Running, a pink Nike Running. This is a Dry Fit. Yeah, Dry Fit with the swoosh, a gray swoosh on there. And here's a 32 degrees cool. I've been finding a lot of this label. If you see this in the thrift, they sell. They don't sell for a lot of money, but this is an extra large 1820. That might be a girl's size, a larger 1820. We'll have to figure that out. Another one here. This one's size large, also a 32 degrees cool. So we'll have to get that one listed and see what it is worth. Solomon size small, so a green Solomon short sleeve crew neck t-shirt, polyester. A lot of these are polyester athletic tees. Here's a SCOR score a running tee, a red score running tee. Again, that polyester blend, maybe some spandex in that one. We'll have to check the label. Another Nike Dry Fit. So we did find quite a bit of Nike at the thrift the other day, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna let these go at $197 or price them up with as a fixed price listing. We might get these Nikes up, price them up a little bit more. This is a loose fit, size medium, a V-neck tee. Here's one, a Skechers extra large. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get this one because it kind of has this like spec design. I guess you like, you know, someone flicks some paint on it or something, but it has that kind of spec design. It's not a complete solid tee, but I guess women's tees, they'll allow for a little design like that. Guys probably wouldn't like that too much, but extra large Skechers Los Angeles blue t-shirt. Finally, we're down to the last one. This is a Kenneth Cole medium 2-button. This might be a men's tee. I'll have to figure it out, but it looks like a blue, solid blue short sleeve crew neck. Got that Henley style with the 2 buttons on the top.
So there you see it. That's the kind of stuff you can find when you go through the women's athletics section at Goodwill on Mondays. We picked those up, I think, last Monday and have yet to list them. So I'm going to get busy and photograph those and list those. Again, we picked them up for $199 at Goodwill. A lot of them we're going to be running at $197 as that loss leader pricing strategy just to get people in the store. We're going to have a buy it now option if people want to take advantage of that. But hopefully they'll come into the store and they'll buy some of my fixed price listings, and that's where we'll make the money. So drawing them in with those auctions and selling those fixed price. Alright, as you saw, we got those orders successfully dropped off at the post office. Next stop, Lake Padden. We're going to head over to Lake Padden, get a nice run in, conquer the 2.6 miles around Lake Padden. Let's get over there. Alright, as you saw, we made it here to Lake Padden. I love it when a plan comes together. I teased it earlier. I think now is the time I'm going to tell you about the plan. We got 9 days left in the month. I think the plan is to halt buying. No more buying fresh inventory every week. No more buying fresh inventory. We're just going to roll over those auctions that don't sell and continue with the auction experiment that way and focus on listing the current inventory that I have. Those stacks in the photo station need to be dealt with. So I think that's the plan moving forward. The next 9 days is to focus on getting those items listed. We've already invested in them earlier this month. We've been running those auctions. We've been focusing a little bit on YouTube, so the listing has not been up to par. I must admit, I have not been listing as many items as I used to in each store. So I need to up my number of listings going up into each store and get those items online, make that money back, and hopefully have a good chunk of change to pay some bills at the end of the month, and then we'll reassess things. So that's the plan moving forward. I love it when a plan comes together, but as for right now, we're just going to get that little walk in. I'm going to warm up. Of course, I'm going to take you guys with me. We're going to get on the trail, show you the sights and sounds here of Lake Padden, and then I'm going to conquer that 2.6 miles and report back. So let's hit the trail and see what we can see today. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little warm-up. Saw the little duck there. It was pretty windy out there on the lake today, so hopefully it didn't blow in your ears too much. But we're going to get out in that wind. We're going to conquer this 2.6 miles, and I'll report back once I return. Alright, I made it another successful 2.6 around Lake Padden. I'd probably give today an 8 out of 10. Pretty good run. I had a little extra there going at the end. It was a little cooler, which was nice. It wasn't so hot out there today, a little breeze, yet that sun was still shining on you in certain spots. So perfect running weather. You couldn't ask for anything better. So it feels pretty good to string together quite a few days of running in a row. No problems, no days off, just continuing to run. Not putting in a lot of mileage, but getting in about 3 to 4 miles a day, plus a little walking. So keeping that cardio up and allows you to have a bit more of an appetite, a bit more energy when you get home and that sort of thing. So you got to kind of remind yourself why you're doing it more than just your health. It's also to be productive in the rest of the areas of your life. So I guess we can go on to a few moments of gratitude. I guess I'm grateful for that productivity. Putting a lot of extra effort into YouTube lately, and it's really paid off. I'm up to, I think it was 412 subscribers or something like that. We were up, might be more, 442 I want to say. I can't remember the exact number, but we're keeping a daily log, and it grew by 10 subscribers. So I want to thank all you subscribers, all you new subscribers, for hitting that button, coming along for the journey and watching this daily vlog. It comes out every morning, so there's always something fun and fresh for you to watch, mostly related to my business, but we mix in a few other things, as you can see. So I guess I can continue with being grateful for that plan I have for the rest of the month. We'll see if I can stick to that plan. Sometimes I tend to wander on into thrift stores and buy more inventory when I don't need to, so I'm going to try to be good about that and not get into those thrifts. Working through the inventory that I currently have in the photo station. We got a lot of good stuff. I just have to make the time to get it online, and that money will roll in as a result. So I guess this is just further proof that when you put effort into something, eventually you will see results. You know, sometimes you go a year with putting effort into something, you don't see a whole lot of results, but once you finally get a little something figured out, you start to see those results, and it's a little bit more rewarding. So we're going to continue plugging away at this YouTube thing, hopefully get the channel monetized. It's nice to see subscriber count jump 10 subscribers, you know. It was clicking along about 1 or 2 every now and then, but to see it jump 10 is quite a feat. And after 10, of course, you know, is 20 and 30 and so on. So hopefully that'll be the next jump in the progress of a YouTube channel. So one thing I'm trying to focus on is trying to make my thumbnails a little better. Of course, you know, everybody says thumbnails are kind of the key to getting people to watch. And you got to be a little bit engaging to keep them watching, which I'm trying to get a little bit better at that as well. But one person said that to create a good thumbnail, you got to have curiosity, a desire, or fear. So we're working on that. We're trying to put a little curiosity, desire, or fear in each of the thumbnails. Hopefully we can create some content that brings a little of that to the channel. They also said to either educate or entertain, so we've added an educational component to the channel. Trying to teach new resellers a little bit about YouTube and eBay, and the ins and outs of it, what it takes to run a successful store, and where to find the inventory you need to churn out profits every week. So obviously there's a lot going through my head trying to balance these two endeavors, and I think, you know, you got to remind yourself to find that balance. And we're trying to find that balance with a little bit of entertainment, hiking, getting out, bike riding, you know, getting that exercise, fun stuff that takes me away from the computer screen and gets me out into the nice weather. So we're going to focus on that, and I think there might be even more of that coming up in August. Once we get through July, we'll see what August has in store, but I've got some ideas, so stay tuned and come on back. You'll be sure to want to visit the channel in August, because I think there's going to be some fun stuff up on the channel. Having said all that, and having revealed my plan for the rest of the month, I think the best bet is just to get home and really work on getting a few listings up into the store. I did get a few on today. I didn't show any of that to you. Mostly those t-shirts I photographed earlier. But we're going to try to work through that stack of t-shirts and then get back in that photo station tomorrow and tackle the stack, the death pile as they call it. My pile is not too bad. I think we'll be able to work through it within the next 9 days. So that's the plan, to work through that pile and get it all online and see what kind of results we have as a result of all that hard work. And of course, I'm going to continue trying to put up multiple pieces of content up to my YouTube channel every day, as well as sprinkling in those shorts in the morning. Those YouTube shorts, those little clips, seem to be the key to building the channel. So, you know, I kind of shied away from shorts for quite a while. I did throw up a few here and there, but I think that's the key. Long form content with abundance of shorts seems to be what has kick-started this channel, and hopefully the uptick will continue. Alright, it's almost 9:30. I just got up another piece of content. I did a little video on the 5 items that sell for big money. I did a little follow-up to the one I posted yesterday with a little bit more detail, a few examples of some sold listings in the sold category on eBay. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you can check out my channel now. I want to thank everybody for watching this one to the very end. I'm going to call an end to this day in the life of a reseller vlog. We'll start fresh in the morning and try to get as many listings as we can up. The plan, it has been established. I love it when a plan comes together. We'll have to work on getting this stack of inventory listed this week. We'll see how many listings I can get up, and of course I'll show you everything I list, everything that sells, and all the rest of it. Another day in the life of a reseller. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscription button, ring that notification bell, and come on back for some more vlogs later this week. Thanks for watching this one to the very end. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.